Los Angeles. You never know what's coming next.
The writing really got very strong in season 2. I felt we had more great shows. And Angel's journey became very interesting. When we sat down to do season 2, we say, well, the end of season 2, he'll go bad. That was our goal, we were going to. Angel went dark, got to be very lonely and isolated again without becoming evil and jealous. I want to kill everybody in sight.
When I came on Angel, there'd been some of Angel's backstory that had been revealed on Buffy, and without telling it in order, we've slowly been letting out some of that history, and we did that this year with a story that took place in the 50s.
The second episode we shot, we go back in time to the 50s and McCarthyism and that whole era of racism and how everybody was very separated at the time, as far as Angel's character being separated from everybody else and just hiding in this hotel. And then towards the end of the episode, we find out that this hotel was their new offices for season 2.
I, for one, will be glad to see the last of this place. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
No lie. Plus, it's kind of got an odor to it. You notice that?
70 years of violence, mayhem, and paranoia. Bad vibes.
We're moving in.
I mean, if you throw pillows, what's not to love?
It created some good storylines for them, the core group of Wesley and Cordelia and Gunn, trying to save Angel and bring him back from the dark side.
There's a lot more flashbacks back to the olden days when Angel was first turned into a vampire and what's led him to the point where he's at today. You know, Angel's a guy who's got a lot to forget. I mean, he's killed thousands upon thousands of people, and I think we've touched more on that this season. We've done much more of a story arc. We've delved into Angel's past where we've met Darla again, Drusilla.
It was really great to come back, and what was really interesting was that the first couple episodes was backstory. So all of the stuff that we as actors knew had happened in these characters' lives, we got to actually reenact and do. Because we were in London in 1860, we were in Hungary in 1880, we were in the Boxer Rebellion, China, 1900, and it was very lavish and lush, and the costumes and the sets, and it was like doing a period film.
We turn her into one of us.
She's a lunatic.
Eternal torment. Am I learning?
Wolf at Heart brought Darla back, and they bring Darla back as a human, and then she becomes a vampire again, and he wants to save her, and he can't. There was just a wonderful arc between the two of them.
We were together 150 years. We shared everything. You're saying never?
You couldn't understand.
He feels beholden to her. He feels some sort of commitment to her, some sort of unspoken responsibility that, you know, a son feels for a mother.
Wolfram and Hart summoned Darla to come, and then summoned Drusilla to come to Los Angeles and basically to get a hold of Angel and bring him to the dark side.
Daddy's home.
Here for the tasting.
For God's sake, help us.
People are going to die.
I just can't seem to care.
We got to that place where Joss realized that he was already dark, and the only way to really make him dark was to have him do something that seemed extreme, and yet that we understood on a human level, which was, of course, locking the lawyers into the wine cellar with the vampires, and then firing his crew. So that allowed us to go to a really interesting place with him without having him turn into evil and jealous.
Darla waited a long time to make herself a mate. She searched a long time to find the one person that she felt she could spend eternity with. And she found Angel, then made him her mate, her lover. But there's also a whole mother-son element to it as well, because she sired him and taught him how to be evil and be a vampire. So there's obviously, in her eyes, Angel is her soulmate. Not so true for Angel, obviously.
What you need is a fresh kill. Hot human blood will wash away the foul memory of it. I promise. What?
You saved me.
She was hoping that by driving him to such a dark place, that she could turn him evil again, and he would become her Angelus. And obviously that's not what happened.
Sorry I couldn't do the same for you.
Let go of me. You still have a soul.
Tim Minear, once again, was able to capture both sides of the relationship between Angel and Darla. Both Angel being done with her, being resolved, being able to walk away from her, and Darla not being able to accept it, and the pain and the suffering that she was going through.
You did me a favor tonight. Now I'm gonna do one for you. Get dressed and get out. Because the next time I see you, I will have to kill you.
One of the things that's interesting is that Darla made Angel, Angel made me, I made Spike, and ultimately, I make Darla again. And so there is that dynamic that's very strange in that Darla is both my grandmother, and then I am her mother because I give her, again, the chance to be the vampire.
You're all new again.
I like Darla a lot. I really like her character, and Julie Benz plays her like to the nines, man. She freaks that role.
Julie Benz is just a fantastic woman on all levels. Just really shows up and enjoys herself. So being with her and Juliet Landau, who plays Drusilla, is the same. I mean, they just come to play and have a good time.
Drusilla really got a chance to sort of spread her wings in Angel when she came to Los Angeles and hooked up to Wolfram and Hart with Darla. I got to be a little more evil in a way than I've gotten a chance to before.
I hear the sirens. They don't know if the world will be there in the morning.
Are the police coming?
No. She senses what this place was built for.
Christian Kane plays a character of Lindsay MacDonald, who is a young lawyer with Wolfram and Hart. You know, kind of a golden boy in the firm, very smart, very bright, comes from a poor family in Oklahoma, came out here in his pickup truck. And in season 2,
Tell me everything.
Lindsay begins to fall in love with the vampire Darla that Wolfram and Hart have brought back from the dead, and begins to sort of live outside Wolfram and Hart a little bit. And he's desperately in love with Darla, but she loves Angel and is really only using Lindsay.
It started out at the beginning of the season. Darla wanted to manipulate him just as he was trying to manipulate her. They're both very damaged people who really want the one person that they can't have to pay for whatever it is, and that's Angel.
I'd love to see that boy.
He's taken from both of us. So when you feel ready, we'll start thinking about giving a little back.
Angel cut off Lindsay's hand at the end of year 1 because Lindsay was about to burn a very important scroll. So he's had this plastic hand all year. And then eventually in year 2, he gets a new hand.
That's why they moved you to the top of the transplant list.
Transplant?
Yes, your hand. That's why you're here. We're going to give you a new one.
Christian Kane in real life is a terrific singer. And in episode 18 of year 2, he sings a song called L.A.
One warm, it's always warm here.
I opened this season in the karaoke bar, which is called Caritas, which is Latin for mercy. So it's a safe haven for demons, vampires, humans. Anyone can go into this bar and they know that it's going to be a safe haven.
So all year we've been singing funny karaoke, and Angel is just terrible at it. And he's always going in and singing Barry Manilow or Wang Chung, and he's just horrible.
How about gracing us with a number? I don't sing.
Who is this guy?
He's connected to the mystic. When you sing, you bare your soul. He sees into it.
Well, you came and you gave without taking, but I sent you away, oh Mandy.
He's a better singer than what he comes off to be.
Is there a reason you're here?
Tomorrow night, the world's going to end. Thought you might want to know. The host came out of the bar and developed a relationship with Angel where they were sort of like fighting crime together in a buddy movie kind of way. It was really fun.
I know you're evil and everything, but that was just so amazing.
That was kind of tight.
Terrific, really.
Is everyone drunk? Kate.
We've been able to bring some resolve to the character of Kate, and when Angel has an epiphany, Kate actually has an epiphany too, as she realizes an important spiritual truth, which is that she did not invite Angel in, and yet somehow he managed to get through her door and save her life, which is a very important moment for both of them.
That was very intense, but one of the great things that David Greenwalt and I discussed was actually the utter simplicity of attempting suicide, or, you know, you're not attempting it, you're planning on doing it. You know, not to make it over the top. It was completely an unknown world to Kate, and a very scary world to anybody who's never kind of believed in otherworldly beings or had any superstitions or believed in ghosts or what have you. She's distrusting, she's been hurt, she doesn't quite know how to communicate with people. Guess you never caught up with your vampire friends in time.
I did track him down later and set him on fire.
Sounds like you enjoyed it, but then again, the whole murder and mayhem thing's always been right up your alley.
It seemed that the fans warmed to Kate the moment she found out what Angel was and threatened his life. And certainly it becomes a more interesting dynamic that she's not seeing the ambiguity of a vampire with a soul.
You know, I'm getting pretty sick of this vampires killed my sister, so now I'm all entitled song. Don't you know anything else? Let's say, MacArthur Park?
Cool. The relationship between Gunn and Angel is very stretched throughout season 2. Gunn is a natural leader, and Angel is the leader of our group. So we see some of that conflict happen in the Shroud of Ramon episode. Gunn hasn't completely let go of the fact that vampires have killed his sister, and he kind of still takes it out on Angel because he's a vampire. Come on, English, you know you're my man. The dynamic with Wesley, to me, is probably the most interesting one in a way, simply because when they first met, there was some sort of tension, and it seemed like they may not get along. But over the course of season 2, I think in a lot of ways they become like best buds in a way. You know what I mean? They become really tight. And I think that that's really good because you wouldn't necessarily expect that from these two. But they both know that they're on a similar mission, and they respect each other and help each other. We see Gunn become really close to Cordelia and Wesley in response to Angel's kind of wigging out, as Cordelia calls it. And we form our own organization, and we become really tight doing that, and a bond is formed between the three of us. And then Angel comes back, of course.
Why is it that I'm not on the floor this time?
I got you.
Maybe he should drive?
Let's go.
Angel comes back and is basically working for the other three. He's realized that he was about to return to his vampire state, has caught himself in the nick of time, and is now very apologetic to his three partners, and is willing now to work for them.
Cordy?
Cordelia has been sucked through a portal out of our dimension and into another dimension, another planet, another place. And they have gone to try to rescue her and get involved in this world of demons and monsters and magicians.
Everyone is very anxious for Her Majesty to come shop with the Gruselak.
Say, don't you think it would add an air of feminine mystery if I were to just, you know, not be here?
The last 3 episodes of year 2, they all go to a very, very different universe where Angel gets to live in a medieval universe and gets to learn where does he really belong? You know, what's his place in the world?
And the question is, will they come back or not? And if so, who will come back? Will they all come back, or will someone be left behind?
That's all what I really am. I can't go back. Not now. I can never go back.
I was opening portals, but I couldn't tell where. You need the priest formulas to figure that out on this side.
Do you have to go, Majesty?
I don't want to.
She's Fred. She does that too. Fred Winifred? The girl from Cordy's vision?
One of the things that keeps the show alive and interesting is that it's different week to week. One week it's a farce, one week it's a drama, it's a melodrama, and then sometimes it's very, very scary. And the show is very, very beautiful, and the show looks like a film, really.